Hello, I thought I'd do a video on changing the hands on this watch. It had suffered from a little bit of moisture inside the case and the hands were quite corroded. They didn't clean up very well, so I ordered another set that have just come in. First thing we want to do is get all the hands lined up together, which will make it easier when we remove them. I've done a video having a closer look at this watch if you're interested. I'll leave a link at the end. To remove the crown, you need to pull it out to the second position, and that'll expose a little lever. You just need to gently depress that lever down and the crown will pop straight out. Just going to remove the rotor to get it out of the way. I've got a few different models of these 7002 divers. I find the movements are fairly good to work on, and you also tend to accumulate a good supply of spare parts. Bit of a gentle tap, that should get the movement out of the case. I like to use a piece of plastic just to protect the dial, and the Presto tool makes easy work of getting the hands off. Just going to put the crown back in so I can get everything aligned with the date clicking over right on midnight. I like to use SEIKO to pick up the hands, that way you don't risk scratching them. Then I just use a piece of pegwood to hold it in place. Take your time to get everything lined up. I actually have a press for putting watch hands on, but I find I prefer to use the hand tools. Just make sure you grab the right tool for the hand you're putting on so you don't damage anything. Can't emphasise enough, you want to take your time and check everything 2 or 3 times before you go pushing on anything too hard. Just check, make sure everything's sitting nice and straight before we put the minute hand on. SEIKO is great for giving a final clean or getting any smudges off the polished part of the hands before you put the next hand on. Just making sure everything's lined up. Just repeat the whole process again. Don't mind my dodgy camera work. Once again, check everything carefully before you give it the final press home. I like to check the hand alignment at 6 o'clock and at 12 o'clock just to make sure everything's nice and straight. Just going to double check we've got that date change right on midnight. That looks pretty good. Take your time and be super gentle putting the second hand on. Make sure you've got it lined up, you don't want to bend the shaft. When you're done, you want to do one final check. Make sure all your hands are nicely aligned, evenly spaced, and no chance of anything touching. Give everything a final clean before we put it back in the case. Okay, I've whacked a movement spacer in, I'm just popping the crown back in. Now my research tells me for optimal alignment of the oscillating weight, you need to line up that peg and the hole in the reduction wheel with the top edge of that weight. Check everything works. The loom on the dial's faded pretty bad with age, but the hands have come up nice. Well, I hope you found that helpful, and thanks for watching.